Hello and welcome to another midweek edition of Championship Predictions from the Honest Football Podcast. I'm Craig Sargent, and with me as always is Mr. Daniel Cody. We'll do a recap of the weekend's action in the next week's one. But we've only got one game in midweek, and that is on Tuesday night, and that is Cardiff City versus Derby County. Cardiff currently in 20th place, Derby in 23rd. Both of these teams lost 1-0 at the weekend. Cardiff lost 1-0 to Fulham, and Derby County lost 1-0 to Luton. We'll start with the away team because you actually watched them at the weekend at Kenilworth Road. Do you feel like they had a little bit lack of creativity for Derby?
It's a really difficult one because probably it's one of those classic cliches. Like up to the 18-yard box, they were a very decent side, and let's be fair, they were very unlucky not to be ahead in the first half because they were the better team by a long way. They had a lot of set pieces. They had a couple of chances worked in from out wide, but it was one of those where you never really felt like they were going to score. And it's been a problem away from home for them all season, cutting edge. They've scored 11 in 17 away games. And I think that was evident there, to be brutally honest. For all of the territory they had in the first half, for all the opportunities, for all the set pieces, they only had one shot on target. They narrowly missed with another free kick from 25 yards, they spurred one over the bar early on with Cousin Richards. But apart from that, they didn't really create a great deal. And that was probably their biggest disappointment with what was a very decent away performance other than that against the side in Luton, who of course are flying, even if we take aside our bias. Unfortunately, though, with other results, I know Reading got beat, but with Hull beating Peterborough, with Barnsley getting a win as well, it really does make this game a lot more important for Derby because Cardiff are probably now the only other side they can really start to drag a little bit towards it. And even then, I think that's a little bit too late. So for Derby, big problems. 12 games to go, and I'm starting to doubt whether they can make it now. For Cardiff, again, a very decent performance in a 1-0 defeat to Fulham. They created chances. James Collins had a glorious one-on-one chance first half, which unfortunately was saved by the keeper for them. But then Mitrovic does what Mitrovic does, and he scored again against Cardiff to summon them to a defeat. But this is a side that are the third worst at home against the side that are the third worst away. They're both coming off back-to-back defeats by the same scoreline. I have absolutely no idea what to go for. And as we saw from the weekend's fixtures, which we'll round up soon, whatever you go for, you're going to look silly because it's going to be completely different. But I have to bank on a Cardiff win. They've been better at home under Morrison. And before that Fulham game, they were unbeaten in 4 home matches. Derby haven't been great on the road. And before the Luton game, they got beat comfortably a couple of games. I don't trust Cardiff to score many, though. I'm going to go 1-0 Cardiff. I think Derby will struggle to score. And Cardiff will just have enough. But they're not ruthless in front of goal either.
Yeah, I've watched the extended highlights for Derby. I just didn't think they had enough to get over the line. They had that shot where it tipped onto the bar in the second half, and that was pretty much it. That was pretty much it for Derby. And then once they went 1-0 down, you knew it was game over. And it's not critical of Derby. It's just I think where they've not got that quality of players, and that's obviously someone were missing. You just knew it wasn't going to be. They weren't going to get back into the game. They put a little bit of pressure into the end, but that it still didn't really have much to do after that. I think Tom Lawrence should still have another game. I think it's his last game left of a 3-match ban. It was looking good for Derby at one point, but then lost 3 out of the last 4, and it's just gone away with them again. As you said, not 8 points behind Reading, but the problem is they're going to play more games than the bottom 4. Barnsley and Peterborough will both have 2 games in hand after Tuesday night, so they have to pick up points, Derby. Cardiff, on the other hand, they've got that cushion. They've got a really big cushion, to be fair, but they haven't been pretty as well. So, and to be fair, they worked hard against Fulham, worked really hard. But you don't give Mitrovic that chance. It's that one little bit of quality has won the game for them. You said 1-0 Cardiff.
Are you going to gamble on goals galore?
No. I'm going to go the opposite way, actually. I'm going to go for a Derby win. I think Derby could do this by 2-1. And that's it for the prediction, because there's only one game in the Championship this midweek. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments section below. Who do you agree with? A Cardiff win, that is a Daniel Cody prediction, or a Derby win, which is a Craig Savage prediction? Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the Honest Football Podcast, and you can follow us on Twitter at Honest Football 3. And we'll see you next time.